I was thinking about it the other day. I don't know how many of you were old enough to remember when Brian Head Welch got saved and left Korn. It was a huge moment, honestly. He got massively ridiculed. You know, he left a band that, you know, he was like brothers with the other members, and you know, just kind of went off to follow Christ, right? And we think of like all the things that Christ had done to him, you know, on our behalf, you know, and how a lot of times we can't seem to take the ridicule from the world on his behalf for being a believer. You know, we're intimidated of what our friends might think, what they might say to us, which I'd have to say, if they're really your friends, they would be okay either way. But, you know, we have that, I know at least I do, or have, that fear of, you know, I can't let people know because, you know, they might think this or that of me. You know, and like I said, that it seems so silly because of what all Jesus endured for us. But then I think of people like Brian that, you know, walked away from one of the biggest bands ever, at least in our generation, right? And was just like, no, I gotta follow Christ. I gotta do what I gotta do. And if you guys aren't going to be supportive of that and you know, be okay with that, then I'm out. You know, and I think of all that he went through and what he gave up at that time to do that. And it really amazes me. Now, since I'm very happy that, you know, through all that, he was able to help others and, you know, really have such a powerful voice throughout the whole music scene and helping with that. And to the point where today, now he's back with Korn, but still strong in his faith and still doing so much for God. And, you know, it's funny how when you truly stand up and say, nope, this is what we're doing, and I don't care what you say, how people stop picking. They only pick when they think that they can actually use it against you. But yeah, it's just, you know, I want to be more like Brian. He's an inspiration for the people today. And I also love the fact that he breaks all the molds of like what a godly man looks like with, you know, his dreadlocks and all his tattoos. Yeah, just a thought. You know, when you're feeling like you can't, and you don't want to say anything to people you know about God because you're afraid of how you'll be judged. I doubt that you're going to give up everything that Brian did, and I know for a fact that you're not going to endure all the things that Jesus did. So, just a thought for you. Hope you're all having a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. Love you all, and I'll talk to you later.